Picture this, a young king, barely in his 20s, conquering vast empires and changing the course of history forever. You might think you know the story of Alexander the Great, but there's so much more beneath the surface. Today, we're diving into the hidden truths about this legendary figure that your history books never told you. Alexander the Great wasn't just a conqueror. He was a master of cultural diplomacy. As he swept through Persia, he didn't just impose Greek ways. Instead, he showed a surprising respect for Persian customs. Imagine the shock of his Greek soldiers when they saw their leader donning Persian robes and adopting local traditions. But this wasn't just a fashion statement. Alexander was playing a long game, one of cultural blending that would reshape the ancient world. Think about it. Here's a man who could have simply crushed every culture he encountered, but instead, he encouraged his men to marry Persian women. It wasn't just about love. It was about creating a new, mixed society. Alexander himself set the example by marrying not one, but two Persian princesses. This wasn't just conquest. It was fusion on a scale never seen before. But Alexander's cultural flexibility went beyond marriage. He started dressing in a mix of Greek and Persian styles, creating a new look that blended both worlds. It was like he was saying, "We can all be part of this new empire." And it worked. People from different backgrounds began to see themselves as part of something bigger, something revolutionary. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Alexander didn't just see himself as a king. He believed he was divine. That's right. A living God walking among mortals. He spread stories about his divine parentage, claiming Zeus himself was his father. It sounds crazy to us now, but in the ancient world, this kind of propaganda was powerful stuff. It made people see him not just as a ruler, but as something more, something almost supernatural. But even gods have their limits. Alexander faced a major crisis when his own soldiers mutinied. Imagine that, the greatest army in the world, turning against its legendary leader. They were tired, homesick, and had had enough of marching to the ends of the earth. It was a moment that could have ended everything. But somehow, Alexander managed to turn it around. He used his charisma, his words, and maybe a bit of that divine aura to win them back. And if you think Alexander was done after conquering Persia, think again. He had plans, big plans. We're talking about conquering Arabia, North Africa, maybe even Rome. The scale of his ambition was staggering. He wasn't just thinking about the next battle. He was imagining a world united under his rule. But then, just as he was poised to launch these massive new campaigns, tragedy struck. Alexander died suddenly, mysteriously, at the age of 32. Was it poison? Disease? Too much wine? We'll never know for sure, but what we do know is that his death left a power vacuum that would reshape the entire ancient world. So, what can we learn from these hidden truths about Alexander the Great? First, that true greatness often lies in flexibility and understanding, not just in conquest. Alexander's respect for other cultures and his efforts to blend them with his own were far ahead of his time. It's a lesson in leadership that still resonates today. Second, the power of image and propaganda can't be underestimated. Alexander's cultivation of a divine image helped cement his rule and inspire loyalty even in the face of incredible hardships. It's a reminder of how powerful beliefs and perceptions can be in shaping history. Third, even the greatest leaders face challenges from within. The mutiny of Alexander's troops shows that no matter how successful you are, you can't take loyalty for granted. It's a lesson in the importance of maintaining connections with your people, no matter how high you rise. And finally, Alexander's unfinished plans remind us of the fragility of human ambition. Here was a man who had conquered most of the known world, yet still had so much more he wanted to do. It's a poignant reminder that our time is limited, and even the greatest among us leave unfinished business. As we look back on Alexander's life, we see a figure who was so much more complex than the simple conqueror often portrayed in popular history. He was a visionary, a diplomat, a propagandist, and a dreamer. He faced challenges both external and internal, and he changed the course of history in ways that are still felt today. The story of Alexander the Great isn't just about battles won or territories conquered. It's about the power of cultural understanding, the impact of image and belief, the challenges of leadership, and the vast scope of human ambition. It's a story that, even after more than 2,000 years, still has the power to inspire, to teach, and to make us wonder about the nature of greatness itself. So the next time you hear the name Alexander the Great, remember, there's always more to the story. Behind every great figure in history, there are hidden truths waiting to be discovered. And in those truths, we often find the most valuable lessons of all.